Hey, welcome back to the channel. As a family that's in rodeo, horses, trucks, so we have Shannon's truck back here, we have an Edge over here, of course we have, I don't know if you saw that, a Jeep right here, but something different in the driveway today. We have a 2025 Cybertruck. Now, why do we have a Cybertruck? We don't own this, we're actually on a test drive. But there's some interesting, cool things about this truck I think you need to think about. You should come along with us and see what we found out about this truck. I think you might be interested. So the question I have, are we actually considering buying a Cybertruck? Not at the present time, but I will say after test driving this, it makes you think about it. Now, the reason why we're not really considering it is because one, we need to tow horse trailers with it, and it can be done, but it's a little bit of a challenge. Second, we're getting ready to go full-time on the road in an RV. And towing one of these behind the RV is a challenge because you can't flat tow it. Now, there is a family out there called We+3. I think that's the name of the channel. I'll put a link above for their channel. They do tow a Cybertruck on a flatbed trailer behind their RV, and they do full-time in the RV. It is a challenge. It can be done. But I tell you what, if they could somehow come up with a way to disengage the wheels on this, so like a Mercedes, like when you need to flat tow an all-wheel drive Mercedes, there's a special tool you put in the hub and it'll unlock all 4 hubs, and you can flat tow it, then it disengages all the axles. Elon, if you can come up with that for this Cybertruck, I think RVers would flock to this thing. Now, it is a little heavy. You have to have probably a Class A diesel pusher, or you have to have at least a Super C that probably tow one of these things. You couldn't do it behind a smaller RV, but something to think about. These things are something else. So as I get this thing fired up here, you can use the app to unlock it. You go over here and hit the app so they find it. I'm gonna say unlock. The mirrors will open, lights will come on, and it is ready to go. Now, why do we have this Cybertruck? Well, if you saw one of our reels about a month ago, we went to the Pasadena Strawberry Festival and Tesla had a demo drive. We took the demo drive, and after that we finished up, went over to their booth, and you spin a wheel. We spun the wheel, and guess what? We won a 48-hour test drive for the Cybertruck. Now, with that said, you win something like that, you go pick up one, you're going to drive it for 48 hours. So we picked this up last night and had a blast, went down to Galveston last night, got some dessert and dinner, and then came home. And I even tried charging last night. Went to Buc-ee's to a Tesla supercharger, took 27 minutes to take this 80% power, got inside, got to get a few snacks, little tchotchke items from Buc-ee's, which always happens. Came back, sat in the Cybertruck at the charger, watched some YouTube. Imagine that right there on the big screen, and we were good to go. So that's why we have the Cybertruck sitting in the driveway. So we have the rest of today and most of tomorrow to demo this truck and try it out. And so far, my wife is impressed, our daughter's impressed, one of our twin boys is impressed. He just got back from South Africa from my research trip, and I can say I'm impressed. This is something you need to think about if you want to consider a Cybertruck. You need to go test drive one. I'm just saying that. Now, some of the cool features of this truck is one is storage capacity, right? I can push this right here and open the tonneau cover. It'll hold up 300 pounds. I think you can walk on top of that. You can open it all the way up, all the way down to where you can have the back window if you might have a traditional looking pickup truck. Push this button right here to lower the tailgate. It comes down nice and soft like that. And the amazing part is you have a lot of storage right here. Look inside here. Big storage compartment. There are drain holes in here in case you get any water, you can drain it out. Now, something I want you to come out and take a look at this. Now, why would you consider this for RV, especially full-time RVing, if you could tow one of these behind? One, it has a huge battery pack. Talk about lithium batteries. You got a lot of power in this thing. And you have outlets. Not only 110, you have a 240 outlet right here. So if you're boondocking and you're running short on power, maybe your solar's not keeping up because it's a cloudy day like it is today, emergency purposes, you can just tie right into your truck and you would have power to power your rig. Now, of course, you wouldn't want this thing to run down totally because you'd be stuck then out boondocking with no power in your rig and no power in the Cybertruck, which would be a bad thing. So I think it's cool about these Cybertrucks. Open the door, you just come here and push this little white line right here. It pops open a little bit and you grab the door and you're good to go. Now the air conditioning will come on, so it'll start cooling off the vehicle. You can do this remotely and you can see you got music playing, but control panel right there, that's everything is controlled from that touchscreen right there, and there's a few buttons on your steering column right here. Look at the room inside this thing. There is plenty of room. It's kind of weird with that big windshield in front of you, nice stuff, but you get used to it rapidly. Now, I'm gonna say, this has to be the biggest windshield wiper I've ever seen in my entire life, but hey, it works. Same thing to open the back here. You just push the white button, it pops open. Come inside, look at the room in the back seat here. Now we have the middle console down, but plenty of room, plenty of headroom inside this. You have your own control panel back here for your air, entertainment, and look at the leg room. You can pack all kinds of things in this. Now something else to consider, that this has a camp mode and also a dog mode. So if you have full battery charge and you want to spend the night in this, you could sleep inside here, have the AC set at 70 degrees, and you'd be good to go. You wouldn't have to worry about running out of gas or overheating the engine. Just be in comfort. Now they are weird looking, I will give you that. They're not probably the sleekest looking. I mean, traditional Dodge, that looks pretty nice. This, you have to grow to appreciate this. Now there is a frunk, and this says, what is a frunk? Frunk is a front trunk. Let me see if I can open this. There we go. Not a lot of room. There's a battery back there. Your windshield washer fluid goes right there. But you do have some storage room here in the front of the Cybertruck. Go ahead and close it. I'm doing all this through an app. You can lock, unlock, do all kinds of things. Well, okay, did not like that. Let me try to close it again. Close. There we go. Right now it's also on the low ride height. There is multiple settings. You can have this up, I think up to 6 inches higher than the standard ride height. There's a couple different travel modes. You have a sport mode, you have a comfort mode. You even have, I can't remember what it's called, some kind of aqua mode where you can go up through water up to 32 inches deep. Okay, let's see if we can check out the ride height. So right now I'm curling in the low ride height mode. I hit ride height, let's go to medium. We're going up, and let's try high. That is the full ride height right there. Now, if you're out boondocking, especially out west, there's some little creeks to get through, little areas you need some extra clearance. I think that's a cool feature. Now, if you can see me in the video here, but I'm in the Cybertruck. Something I did not realize this until the first time I backed out of the dealership is that it has four-wheel steering. So I'll put this in reverse, and I'm gonna try to back up. I'm gonna turn the wheel at the same time. You'll see the rear wheel turn. So all four wheels are turning to shorten your turn radius. Isn't that cool? I don't know how much this video is going to show up myself, but this is when you first get in the vehicle. So here you have to press the brake if you want to engage the gear. But the menu comes up like this. You can open the frunk, you can change your ride height, different things, but everything is done on the touch screen. There are very few buttons anywhere else. You have two scroll wheels here that move back and forth and do different functions for the Cybertruck. But there are no other switchers or buttons anywhere else. Everything is on this touch screen. So you can go to home here, for example. This is all things you can set up. For example, the autopilot or Autodrive. You go here and you switch this over to full self-driving, which I think is pretty cool. Still weird, but pretty cool. I've had the opportunity to try that out a few times. Let's go back to traffic aware cruise. But you know, you can control your dynamics, your sport mode, custom mode, off-road mode. Change all your acceleration parameters, towing, how you want to set up your towing profile. Your trailer brake has a brake controller for your trailer built already into the vehicle, and brake boost also for your trailer that you're towing behind. But everything is touchscreen right here. You can change the ride height. This is how you adjust your mirrors, your steering. If you want the steering wheel to go back and forth, for example, use this to make it go up and down, and then left to right to make it go in and out if you want it closer or further away for you. Of course, you can set up with memory just like you can in a lot of other vehicles where you get in the vehicle, it knows who you are, and everything adjusts, mirrors, seat goes exactly where it's supposed to go. You have the Sentry mode where it will record all around the vehicle, so if someone's messes with it, you have video of that stored on the hard drive, and right now it's recording, which is up here recording what's going on. So pretty cool. Go to the main menu here. Navigation. This is where you would set up all your navigation, including Autodrive. You'd set up right here. Now here's what I think is the cool part. Last night I had to charge this. Right now I see it has 75 miles left. So I had to charge it, and I went to a supercharger at Buc-ee's. Why not? You go to Buc-ee's, right? So while I was in there, plugged it in, said it had 29 minutes to go to 80% charge. Went inside Buc-ee's, of course. You had to go get a drink, get some snacks, look around, see what's new. It's one of the travel centers, so that's why we went there. And came back out, had another 10 minutes to go. So what do we do for the next 10 minutes? Of course, you can sit inside because the air conditioning is going, the engine's not running. It's nice, cool 70 degrees is where it's sitting right now. So I push this button right here, and guess what? I can watch YouTube. So I brought up YouTube, and it sat right here while I finished charging and watched some YouTube channels. Isn't that cool? I wonder, put in our channel. What do you think? The Bouken. Bouken's Adventure. That's us. Well, you can't really subscribe to the account over here, but that's our channel right there. Look at that. Isn't that cool? How about that? Hey, chick, you see your mascot here because of the mosquitoes. Quick question for you. What did the Rangers say when his cows wanted to start a band? Really? I see we have a musical group. Isn't that cool? I don't know. We might need a Cybertruck or a Tesla in general. Doesn't fit our lifestyle, doesn't fit our needs, but it is sure cool to have one of these. Okay, we need to go pick up some alfalfa for the horses. Our alfalfa guy is running a little behind. He got a late shipment from Arizona, so we need a couple of 3-string bales. Might as well go take the Cybertruck, right? So to get this going, I'm gonna push down the brake. You slide this down in the reverse. All your cameras come up, mirrors adjust, and we are off and running. Four-wheel steering is pretty cool. So right here, slide this forward in the drive. There we go. Now, driving through the neighborhood, I don't want to be dangerous and drive on the highway while I'm recording, but you sit there and go back and forth. Is it worth to have an electric vehicle? We have not been a proponent of electric vehicles and stuff. There's definitely a need for it, but living out in the country, this is a challenge, right? For example, the closest supercharger to us is 25 miles away. So we definitely have to have a charger at the home other than just the standard 240 charger. We'd have to have a supercharger because you can't always have this thing charging overnight. Now, with that said, the other downside we found out is that the supercharger only takes you 80% battery power. Now, granted, it happens rapidly, but if you want 100% battery power, you have to let it charge overnight using your home charger or what they call a destination charger. With that said, each mile I drive this makes you think, do we need a Cybertruck? Do we actually need a Cybertruck? Don't know. Be perfect for our son. All the dive trips he does. There's a camping module you can put on the back of this. I'll put a couple of pictures I found on the internet of the different inserts you can put in here, almost like a truck camper. You can actually sleep inside here with air conditioning and not have to worry about burning gas or running out of power each night. You just sleep in comfort right in your truck and then have a truck camper on the back. Oh, serious case of the wants. So I guess what I need to do now is I need to win the lottery. What do you think? Win the lottery? Be good to go on that. Driving the Cybertruck. I said, yes, we're not dressed up because we have to go get a battery doing the vehicle, which is very appropriate because we were in an electric vehicle to go get a battery. But Debbie wanted to drive the Cybertruck. Check it out. It is different. Once you get used to it, you're hooked. But the first time, you're like, what in the world is this all about? Day 2, the Cybertruck is definitely growing on us. Thought it would just be a fun drive to take, something to try out for 2 days. We were not really Tesla fans, but we are now. Now, something I thought was kind of interesting, I don't think I showed this before. Let me go to this menu right here. Of course, there's a lot of buttons on here. But if you like karaoke, look at this. Bring this up right here. Have a little journey. And the words will come up on the screen. It's just a small town girl living in a lonely world. I'm gonna stop singing right now. So imagine sitting somewhere, waiting for it to charge, or just taking a break and doing karaoke. Now, with that said, you can't do this while you're driving. However, there's a screen back here in the back, and the passengers can do karaoke as you're going down the highway. So kids, if you have even adults in the back and they want to have fun on a trip, that is too cool. what we're gonna do, we picked a spot. Go to the control here. We're gonna turn on autopilot, full self-driving, supervised. Now what that means by supervised is that you have to have your hands somewhere near the wheel. There's a camera up here watching, make sure you're paying attention, you're not falling asleep. You're not, basically what you're doing is you're not goofing off. That's something you need to pay attention because it is supervised auto drive. You can get kind of crazy. I'm gonna leave it in standard. Do have a 10% offset for speed. Let's go a little bit over the speed limit. So we're ready to go. Side is forward and we're off. Now, if I want to engage auto drive, since I already selected, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this left scroll wheel. It says engage. Keep your hands on the wheel. Turn signal on by itself. It is stopping at the stop sign. It's looking all different directions using the 8 cameras and the sensors. And we're off on auto drive. Now, he said this is day 2 of demoing this Tesla truck. And I assume all Teslas are the same. The one feature that we found really love here in Texas is that when we went to Walmart, for example, to walk away, you lock the vehicle with the app, or it locks by itself, but I went ahead and turned on the air conditioner. So it will maintain 70 degrees inside the vehicle while we're shopping. So when we come back out in this Texas heat, we're at 70 degrees, which I think is one of the greatest features of this vehicle, or all Teslas. I assume they're all the same. But we're going over to section 1. Right now we're doing speed limit's 25. We are doing 28 because I do have that 10% built in to go over the speed limit. You can change that. I'm telling you, I was not a Tesla believer before. I might be now. I'm just saying. Now I'm going to go ahead and take over here just in case because there's some people walking. Gabriel's up here. To override the autopilot, myself, the supervised autopilot, you just hit the brake, hit the scroll wheel, or just turn the steering wheel and it'll shut it off. So if you need to make adjustments to do something. So Gabriel, our friends came up. I went and stopped so I could talk to him. Now, I'm not going to gauge it right now again because I'm going to give you an idea of the acceleration. I get her in the highway. Facing the right direction here. So we're doing 10. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Here we go. That's 70 right there. And I will put a counter on the video to show how fast that was to get to 70 miles an hour. This will flat out set you back in the seat. All of our friends we're giving rides to so far, they sit there, they're just grinning from ear to ear as soon as you accelerate because your stomach goes back against your spine. So I'm gonna go ahead and engage auto drive again. So auto drive is now engaged. You see we'll start following the road. We're going to Sun Creek section 1. I put the address in, you can see right here. We're coming to section 1 here. You'll see the turn signal come on by itself. It's looking around. There's a turn signal right now.
Now turn right onto Sun Creek Ranch.
Coming up, breaking down. There we go. Now you saw the message on there says a slight force to the steering wheel. What that means is that since I didn't have my hands on the steering wheel, since it's a supervised auto drive, if you don't supervise it, so to speak, it will disengage. So the idea is you're not going to fall asleep or you're over here on your phone or on a laptop or doing something you're not supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be paying attention when you're driving. Come to the 4-way stop here. Now, one thing I'll say is the first time I came to a 4-way stop, especially there's 2 in a row by the interstate, I was like, what's this thing going to do? Is it actually going to follow the rules? You know, who comes there first and stuff? And it did a great job. I've been through a 4-way stop at least 10 times with this Cybertruck, and it's been spot on every single time. Of course, I'm monitoring to make sure it doesn't do something stupid myself, but the team at Tesla have done a pretty good job. So we have a curve up here, and we'll make a turn on Indian Ridge.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Indian Ridge.
See here. Turn signals on.
Now turn right onto Indian Ridge.
Here, come up. Again, I'm not touching the pedals I'm just applying slight pressure to the wheel so it knows that I'm monitoring, I'm supervising. Now, if I allow it to, I'm going to disengage it. It will actually pull into the driveway if I don't want to. So I'm going to go ahead and disengage it right now. So on the auto, I'm now manual drive now. And this is where we're going to this house right here, our friends. By the way, if you're looking for a great horse property, equine property here in Rochelle, Texas, this is for sale. Come check it out. It has got a barn back there. It's got a riding arena, 2 riding arenas. Actually, one covered too, especially if you are into equestrian events. Come check it out. That is the Autodrive feature, supervised Autodrive feature of the Tesla truck. And assume it works the same in all the Tesla vehicles. I don't know if I'd actually use it very often. It's kind of fun. It's a novelty. I do like to be in control, so to speak, especially in traffic. It's so easy to drive because the steering here is electronic. It's not mechanical. So it's proportional based on your speed. And what you have to get used to is you don't have to make any movements. Here, basically, you just put your hands on her and keep it perfectly still, and it will track exactly in the lane you want to. This minute little pressure to make sure you stay between the lines is all it needs. You don't need to do any type of movements other than just slight pressure change to keep you on track. Now, something else you notice, when I come to the stop sign here, I never touch the brake. Okay? So we have regenerative power going back into the unit. When you let off the accelerator, what it's doing is engaging the brakes, and that power is going back into the battery bank. But I found out you need to work on your timing. You get pretty good at this, as far as when you let off the accelerator, it'll actually stop at the stop sign. So I'm just trying to slow down here. For example, if I let go right now, it would stop at this time. I'm going to let go right here, right? Okay, I was a little early, but you see the brake lights came on. I never touched the brakes. Just the way that the unit works. So again, like I said, this is day 2 of the Cybertruck. We have to take it back by 6 p.m. today. Autodrive is on now. I don't have a destination, so Autodrive works. You're just driving on the highway. For example, you're heading out to West Texas, and you just want to use Autodrive to kind of take some pressure off you, especially in West Texas. You engage it, it'll just drive down the highway until you tell it to stop. So here we are at Buc-ee's in Pearland. We're splitting a chopped brisket sandwich, charging the Cybertruck, and watching the waterfront on Netflix. I don't know. I think we start getting used to this kind of stuff. I'm just saying.
Could do it.
Could do it. Well, of course, it never fails when you want to film your out video, because we only have this truck for a couple more hours. They're mowing across the street. Nice, with a big bush hog. They're mowing all the vacant lots. They always do this on the holidays, so they're getting ready for the 4th of July holiday. They're mowing all the lots and making a lot of noise. But our 2-day, 48-hour test drive is coming to an end. Now, I wish Debbie is here with me, but she had to work today, and we're trying to time this to get this back to the dealership. This is Tesla of Clear Lake here in Houston, Texas. We got to get this bad boy back to the dealership. I will say, after driving this for the last 2 days, I went from, I think these are stupid, I think they look ugly, to, if I had the money, I'd buy one of these. I thoroughly enjoyed the last 2 days driving this Cybertruck, except for one thing. One thing that I think is a challenge, because we live in a rural area. It's a lot of driving. So, for example, go to the closest grocery store for us is 20 miles away. So driving around, doing things, picking items, running errands. I charge this truck every day. I had to go to Supercharger the night we picked it up, because we drove 160 miles that night, just driving around, just checking it out, right? Went down to Galveston, got some amazing bread pudding at Fisherman's Wharf. And then the next day, I had to take the Cybertruck in the morning because I had to run some errands, and went ahead and charged it because I knew that afternoon we're going to be going to a friend's house to take them for a ride. They've always wanted to sit in the Cybertruck. They always want to go for a ride in the Cybertruck. So I went to a Supercharger again, took it back at the 80%, took like 22 minutes. No problem at all. Got to watch some YouTube videos, which you'll see earlier in the video. But then we went around, did some more errands, and then went to a friend's house, took them for a ride, and took another set of friends for a ride. And then another set of friends for a ride that night. Finally, at 8:30 last night, we had to go to the supercharger again and top it off. So we have plenty of power for today, to run around for the errands I'm going to do this morning, and then take it back to the dealership, which is about 45 miles from here is the dealership. So we want to make sure we had plenty of power. So that's 3 visits to the supercharger in 48 hours. Well, actually, in about 40 hours. That's a lot. I'm just saying. So that's the only downside to these, but the comfort, the ride, the just riding in it is so comfortable. It's stress-free. I think it has a lot to do about how quiet it is inside. These tires are foam filled, so it cuts down the road noise also. There's no engine noise, of course. Now, if you get on it, there's a little bit of the whine from the electric motors, but it is quiet. The air conditioner works extremely well. It's very comfortable, very spacious. It is just a comfortable ride, and mosquitoes are trying to get me. So that's the end of our 48-hour test drive of the Cybertruck. We hope you enjoyed some of the videos. Like I said, we're not sponsored by them. We have nothing to do with Tesla or any of their vehicles, but if you get an opportunity to give one a try, we highly suggest it. Head down to your Tesla dealership, sign up for a test drive, and I think you'll be impressed. We're Bouken's Adventure. We hope to see you out on the road.